main starting lineup for them. Paul Aitchison at fullback, Chris Smith, Damien Smith, Paul Newlove, Anthony Sullivan, the three-quarter line, Tommy Martin and Sean Long at half-back. And the forwards, Perolini, Cunningham and O'Neill in the front, Chris Joint and Paul Davidson behind. Paul Sculthorpe is the loose forward. And on the bench, Brett Goldspink, Anthony Stewart, Paul Anderson and Scott Barrow. The coach is Sean McRae. Now the champions from Bradford, new signing Nathan McAvoy is out with ankle damage. This is the way they line up. Spruce at fullback, Vicona, Bradley the captain, Calland and Scales the three-quarters. Paul and young Paul Deakin at half-back. And up front, it's Neil Harmon, new signing of course, James Lowes, Tahi Rihana, Mike Forshaw and Simon Knox, and Steve McNamara is their loose forward. And on the bench, Kevin Crowthers, Jeremy Doniger, Brian McDermott, Stuart Fielden. The coach, Matthew Elliott. Well, it is widely anticipated that the winners here will go on to claim a place in the playoffs at the end of September, and St Bernard hopes that perhaps it will be the Saints. But the champions, well, they haven't rediscovered their dominance of 97 and have lost 7 so far this year. Only 2 of those away from home, though. They're not scoring freely. They did run in 6 touchdowns against Hull last week. They have a slightly better defence than the Saints. And Tavita Vicona, 40 tries in the First Division last year. He hasn't lost his touch in this more elevated company. The Bradford Bulls' army of supporters has travelled in numbers as usual for this match against St Helens at the home of the inaugural champions, succeeded by the Bulls of course, but the Saints in fine form just now. Successive wins behind them. They've won the last 3 here. They've exactly the same win-loss ratio as the Bulls, but on their day they are the entertainers of the Super League. Second in the scoring stakes behind Wigan, 20 tries in the last 2 games. And Anthony Sullivan, the Welsh international, enters this game needing 1 for 150 touchdowns for the St Helens club. The Saints supporters hoping that their team will claim the points today to take a decisive step really towards the playoff series. And St Bernard of course is joining in with the fun as usual. The Bullman is here as well with all the Bradford supporters. And the match referee, Stuart Cummings, who is all wired up for sound. He'll be in touch with his touch judges on the side and an observer in the stand who will keep in touch and keep tabs on Stuart Cummings and the performance of him and his team of officials. Now then, prior to this match at Nosey Road, the crowd will observe a minute's silence in memory of Lady Pilkington, St Helens club president who passed away last week, and also remembered at this time now the victims of the bomb outrage in Northern Ireland yesterday afternoon.
Who have suffered a terrible and cruel tragedy over the weekend. May God be with them in their hour of need.
So often those sad occasions at rugby league grounds are impeccably observed, and this one no different. So the scene is set then for St Helens against the Bradford Bulls. A big match this for both sides, Steve-O.
Sure is. The loser today know that they're in for a real scrap to hang on to that 5th position. That's how vital it is. And of course the winners will secure that 4th spot unless they really do fall off the rails. It should be a tough encounter. There'll be plenty of sparks early in this match.
And almost an early mistake for Bradford indeed. Early mistake for them, and Davidson is straight in, and I think that's Mike Forshaw who tangled with him.
It is. Well, we knew it was going to be explosive. We knew there was a lot at stake. Big smile on the face of Davidson. It was a big mistake, and they pushed him over the sideline. He tried to keep it alive. Scales. Great defence from the Saints there. Damien Smith helping with the winger, Chris Smith.
St Helens with the possession from the scrum that resulted from the fact that Scales was bundled out of touch. This now is Long. He gives the ball into Julian O'Neill, who drives it in towards the posts. It's a big test here early of the Bradford defence. They really should be up the other end. As it is, though, it's St Helens applying early pressure. Ball is in the hands of Sculthorpe. Great tackling. Matthew Elliott, the Bradford coach, wants his team to win, but more importantly, he says, wants his team to perform and perform to the game plan. Joint has bust through. Support arrives from Aitchison. By Kona got to him. Telling tackle.
Bad miss there by Robbie Paul.
Martin gives it to Perolini. Perolini, support arrives. They're over the line. It's going to be a call, I think, to the video ref here.
Did he get the ball down?
Cunningham has got over the line. Was he held up? Did he ground the football? That's what the video ref has to decide.
Great burst, put them into this position. Perolini offloads. Superb support play by the hooker. And Kieran Cunningham dashes down. There's no doubt in my mind this will be given. What a great start. But remember, Bradford made the mistake. They were bundled into touch. Scales it was. From the scrum, they launched this. And I can't see any problems at all for the video referee. They'll make sure, take plenty of angles. But you can see quite clearly there that the ball was forced down. They tried their best, didn't they? But he's so strong this season. Kieran Cunningham really has worked hard on the upper body strength. And that's the reason why he's had the ability to burst through. This will be a try.
Try it is. Wonderful start for St Helens. And the 40th try for the Saints of young Kieran Cunningham's outstanding career.
Back on the inside, and you can see there that he just set back out. They couldn't get to him. It was a good offload as well. Just what a prop forward should be doing. Once he makes the half break, it was a turning round, back on the inside. And when he knew he'd got the half break, great support there. What a start for the Saints, just what the doctor ordered.
Cunningham's try, Sean Long now right in front of the posts, and Long, of course, now taking over the goal-kicking responsibilities from the departed Bobby Goulding. 24 points against Warrington last Sunday. Bang in front, makes no mistake with his first kick. And St Helens have had a perfect start. 6 points to 0.
Neat little pass on the inside, and you'll see how the defence just hesitates. It's enough to get them off balance, and that's the reason why the big prop forward could twist in the tackle. Offload to the hooker, Cunningham. Well, to the great delight here of the loyal fans at Knowsley Road. What a start for the Saints.
Well, St Helens restart, and they'll try and do same again here, but this time Spruce caught it and bounced and came back in the field of play. Forshaw will run it back at St Helens from the dummy half position. Joint, big on defence. Sean McRae, the Saints coach, linked in the newspaper this morning with the coaching vacancy at Gateshead if Gateshead get into the Super League at the meeting tomorrow. But at the moment, Sean McRae is just interested in the St Helens quest for a place in the top 5. Rihanna will drive this ball further towards the halfway line, but it's good defence from Saints. McNamara will kick now to try and get Bradford into the St Helens half of the field, but he's missed that. It's sailed out on the full.
Put under a lot of pressure there, the loose forward Steve McNamara, and you can see there Tommy Martin really was charging down upon him, just about half a metre too long.
Well, they're fired up for this. The crowd at Knowsley Road fired up, and so too the St Helens players on the opening 4 minutes of evidence. That's Sculthorpe. He'll get up and play the ball to the acting halfback Kieran Cunningham, who gives it infield to Julian O'Neill. Try against Huddersfield here 2 weeks ago. O'Neill, this is Long. He gives it to Perolini. They're a different side with Perolini back in the starting lineup.
Such a big fellow, isn't he? But the way that they're getting over the advantage line, they are playing the ball very quickly. They're catching this Bradford defence on the back step.
This is the last tackle, and Martin will hoist the high bomb. Here's a tester. The ball bounces, but the referee wasn't happy with the challenge anyway. The Bradford man taken out. Good kick, though, from Martin.
Superb high bomb, wasn't it? But you could see that Smith took the man out, and also Damien Smith.
Guilty conscience, Robbie.
He went running through it, and they did not go for the ball. They went for the man instead.
Sorry, I agree with you.
There's a man that did at least try to go to the ball. It was the centre, Damien Smith. But never made any attempt at all. Well spotted by Stuart Cummings.
That's Neil Harmon, new signing, of course, with Nathan McAvoy a couple of weeks ago. Harmon fit to play tonight, but McAvoy with the ankle problem. And so the injury blight that has affected the Bradford Bulls from the start of this season carries through into this match at St Helens, with the new boy out of the side. Bradley gets to his feet on halfway, plays it quickly. This now is Forshaw. He manages to unload the ball. Good quick hands. Deacon then gives it to McNamara. He finds Matt Calland out wide. Vicona wants it early. Vicona gets it. Goes through Newlove. Can't go through the next two though. And Aitchison is the man who got in with the tackle. Bradford, first opportunity for them. Deacon once more. Paul was a dummy runner. Rihanna hangs on. But St Helens caught offside.
Played the advantage at Stuart Cummings there, but what a big gamble it was from Anthony Sullivan, the winger. In that passage of play, when Bradford were taking it from the left to the right, he came about 30 metres off his line. You can see that they made no attempt. And when the ball came through, Sculthorpe was the man that was well in front. Again spotted by the official Cummings. But the build-up to that fella, Sullivan, took a huge gamble, caught himself in field, and it allowed Vicona. That's why Vicona was screaming to get the service a lot quicker than what he did.
Steve McNamara then with the first chance for points for the Bulls. 7 goals against Hull, his former club, just a week ago. And he gets Bradford off the mark, his first kick, and he's successful too. St Helens 6, the Bulls 2.
Steady the ship a little bit there, and also to make his life a little bit more happier. This is the incident where there's running across the field, and Vicona really should have been served quickly. There you see Sullivan. He came back, full credit to him, but he went 30 metres inside. It's a huge gamble, and they got away with it just.
Scoring team restarts in the Super League, of course. Bradford kick off again. This is Perolini for the Saints. Good charge downfield, though, by Rihanna and Forshaw and Lowe's. Now then, Chris Smith. Good tackling that.
Crowd thought that McNamara was well offside, and so do I. He's not that quick.
Martin impeded as he tried to get back to his feet. Penalty against Deacon.
Well, the young fella did the right thing, went down. Pretty good tackle, but you could see that he had another grab at it. Tommy Martin's been around long enough to be able to milk what he could out of it.
So the Saints back in attacking mode with O'Neill. Didn't have the tackle completed first time. Forshaw dropped on him. This is Davidson. He drives it in. Remember the try he scored for emerging England to win the international against Wales at Widnes a few weeks ago. Long to Sculthorpe. Good tackling by the Bradford defence. Harmon in there quickly, along with Forshaw, who's getting through a lot of work early. This is Joint, though. Joint almost dancing to the line, releases it to Cunningham. Cunningham flicks the ball back, does he? Yes, he does. He finds Damien Smith. And there is the fullback, Stuart Spruce, to wrestle him to the ground. Saints will surely give it width now. Here's Long. He turned the ball back inside, but Perolini, I think it was picked up and dumped to the ground and lost it.
Was he ever? Bit of a forward pass there. Long trying the reverse pass. The big prop forward. Oh, just got picked up and dumped.
John Scales for the Bradford Bulls, who won the title for the first time in 16 years last year, but my word, they find it much tougher in 1998. Their injury problems haven't helped them, but everybody who plays the Bradford Bulls this year have been up for the challenge, and that's certainly the situation here as 4th place Saints takes on 5th place Bradford, and they both know how vital the points are. Robbie Paul now for the Bulls. Well watched on that occasion by O'Neill.
It's getting very warm out there. A lot of the players are verbling each other. Well taken. No, he got away with it.
He did. The ball
Bounced out of Sullivan, and Newlove was there on hand. Oh, what a hit from Vicona. But this really is hotting up.
Great run from Aitchison this. What a charge of field. Sullivan. Spruce got to him. He managed to flick the pass away to Sean Long. But this game, well, 10 minutes old or thereabouts. It's sensational.
What a great effort from the fullback, Stuart Spruce there. He was on the ground. Made the beautiful tackle.
This is O'Neill again. Good run from Julian O'Neill, and he almost got round Spruce. Where's the second phase of attack? There it is with Joyce. Long pass out wide to Newlove. Formerly, of course, with the Bradford club. He loses it, and Simon Knox comes up with possession.
It's a knock on from Bradford. You'll see a hand get to it here. There. Little doubt about it. It was Callan that got the left hand to it. And that's why the ball was knocked back. So it'll be a head and feed to Saints. The crowd here are going absolutely bananas. 6-2. It's a classic, this.
Has all the makings of it, there's no doubt about that. Long fed the scrum, gets the possession, finds Martin. He hands it on to Newlove. And Newlove is so strong in the tackle. He's bounced through 3, about 4, 5. Still going, Newlove. Great run.
And that was from a standing start. He really should have been running onto that football, but he showed plenty of strength.
O'Neill to within 2 meters of the line. Cunningham behind him at dummy half. There's Perolini. Perolini slipped it to O'Neill. Back it goes, another try. Another try to Cunningham. Kieran Cunningham gets his second. What a start for St Helens. What a start for Kieran Cunningham. He's doubled his tally for the season already.
Good support play, the combination yet again. Perolini offloads. It was great play, wasn't it? Switched it back on the inside, but Cunningham was not going to be denied. O'Neill offloads. Cunningham's strength gets him there yet again. Reaches out. Great positioning by the referee, Stuart Cummings. Didn't need the video for this. You just keep an eye on where the referee stands for this one. And as soon as the arm plonks out, the official can see. Need offload back on the inside there. Second effort again from Perolini. It's strength that's got them 2 tries.
So Kieran Cunningham with the try. Try against Warrington last Sunday as well. And of course, hoping for a big game tonight, because on the opposite side to him, a big rival for the Great Britain jersey against the Kiwis at the end of the year in James Lowe's. Sean Long, another easy conversion, because Cunningham plonked it down right underneath the sticks. This should be 12-2 to the Saints. 12-2 it is.
It's a basic move, just a running across the face of the defence, bringing someone back on the inside. And the size of Apollo Perolini made all the difference. Cunningham shoots across, back on the inside. Again, we speak about the wonderful upper body strength. And it is proving to be a great success for the Saints. 12-2, but a bad mistake there from Tommy Martin. He's furious with himself.
Kick-off out on the full, so it's a penalty to Bradford on the halfway line. You might have noticed that Tommy Martin won the Lance Todd Trophy in the last Wembley final between these two, and the year before it went to Robbie Paul, of course, after his first ever Wembley hat-trick in the 1996 Challenge Cup final. You might also have noticed that young 18-year-old Stuart Fielden is on the pitch now. He's replaced Tahi Rihana. Matthew Elliott is not afraid to pitch the youngsters in, and Fielden, 18, and Deacon, who is only 19, the future of the Bradford Bulls. This is Spruce. Bradford need to reply quickly. What a run from Spruce.
Outstanding play from the fullback, came on the arc. He was running onto the football.
That was Fielden. He plays it to Lowe's. Lowe's to McNamara. Out wide it goes to Callan. Great defence from Sullivan and Newland.
Unbelievable, just like the brick wall there.
Here's McNamara. He slides the kick through. Back it comes to Vicona, and Vicona will score. The referee, though, isn't 100% convinced. The referee, the video referee, will have to have a look at this.
It might have been James Lowe's was onside.
I think he might have been onside or offside. That's what he's got to try to sort out. It was a kick from Steve McNamara. Nice option. They're pretty quick to get off the line. They don't have to go the full 10, of course. They can stand over that line. Well, that looks okay. This will be a try. Well, he pops up, doesn't he, Vicona, when it need be. Loose forward, McNamara puts in the kick. Lowe's was onside. That went backwards. That's A-OK. Great fight back by Bradford there. They looked out on their feet. High shot will show conclusive that Lowe's will definitely be onside, and he is just. Good play. Flicked it back with the left hand, and Vicona goes in for a try.
Well, the Bradford players punch the air with delight. They believe it's a try. Tavita Vicona waits and watches, and the try is given. Perfect response from the Bulls. Vicona, remarkable try scorer this fellow is.
The option of using the little short kick, you could see how the advancing defence was coming through. Lowe's did well to get it back there. Spun away Vicona. Such a strong three-quarter. We mentioned that it's a solid defence by the Saints today, and that's one way of getting through. Perhaps Lowe's didn't actually get to it. It may have ricocheted off Perolini. Either way, Vicona gets the 4.
Tavita Vicona, that is his 91st try in the British game, and 11 of 1998. He certainly has brought the try-scoring ability with him out of the First Division, where he got 40 tries for Hull last year. McNamara now with an important kick. It's 12-6 now. Big 2 points on offer here for McNamara. No mistake. 12-8, and Bradford, like the champions they are, have bounced back.
McNamara can see that the advancing defence, look where the fullback is as well. So it's a good option by the loose forward. It was a neat little dink through. I think it came off Perolini in the end. Either way, Vicona gets the Bulls back in this match. Plenty of points on offer. Plenty of points already have been scored.
They went for the short kick-off there, the Bulls. It didn't quite come up for them.
I think we can sit back and expect plenty more tries.
16 minutes of this match gone. The two champions of Super League thus far, and watching the Great Britain coach, Andy Goodway, of course. This is Davidson. He plays the ball. Martin puts boot to ball, and Sullivan's after this. Vicona is lolloping towards it. Oh, he's missed it! And Spruce, I think, has grounded that in goal. Anyway, he's trapped in the in-goal area, and so it will be a drop out from underneath the Bradford post. Oh, what an air shot from Vicona.
Unbelievable there. The big fella, the big winger, had all the time in the world. Newlove was charging down. Spruce was there to save the day. He had to be. He's saying, calm things down, there's no rush, we're only 4 points adrift.
But Steve-O, Vicona was lolloping towards that. There was no urgency, and Sullivan was streaming down this wing.
Well, a big let-off for them. Again, the kick being the good option. That was pretty close to a forward pass as well. Aitchison offloading there when he didn't really need to.
Cunningham to Perolini. Good go-forward, Perolini.
Oh, that's got to be a flop. It came into the tackle about 5 seconds late.
Long gives it to Sculthorpe, who tries to go through Bradley and Paul.
Swinging arm from Bradley, but I think he was just trying to reef the ball away.
Sculthorpe didn't. He had a word with him after that was gone. O'Neill
That'll be a penalty. It's got to be a penalty.
No.
2-on-1.
To knock on.
Well, you'll see that there's a hand coming too, and it's knocked away with two men into it. Lowe's is there. Fielden just deliberately goes for the football. That should be a penalty. There it is.
Didn't he just go to make the tackle, though, the youngster? I don't think that was intentional attack at the football.
I beg to differ on that one.
Well, it is a democracy. We can all have our views. Good tackling by Perolini on Donegal.
It's been a feature of the game, especially from the Saints. Look how the St Helens defensive line is moving forward. They really are up for this one.
Well, if they're not up for this one, they won't be up for anything, because they know, I think both coaches know, that a win today could easily put their team into that top 5 situation at the end of September. Here's Donegal, just on the field, of course. Tackled by Chris Joynt, the St Helens captain, who's making his 250th career appearance tonight. Screams of a forward pass.
Either way, they went for the power play. They really should have opted for the kick. Lowe's decided to offload, and as you can see, looked forward there on the replay. But why didn't they utilise the kick? Lowe's never got out of the area of playing the ball. The official says play on.
Well, this match has such intensity about it in the opening quarter. Just imagine what it will be like when the playoff series gets underway. If it's as intense as this when it's just 2 points at stake, what's it going to be like when it's knockout football?
Well, bad mistake.
Don't forget the grand final, of course, the 24th of October. It should have a big red ring around it, that date, in every rugby league fan's calendar. It's at Old Trafford, of course, on the 24th. Kick-off at 6:30 in the evening, but if you want any information, ring Super League Europe in the morning on 0113 234 4455. Of course, this could it be? Probably not, actually, because they'd have to play, wouldn't they, in the first of the elimination matches. They can't get to the grand final, these two. We wouldn't think so anyway.
Not unless everybody else just loses every other game, which is most unlikely.
Graham Bradley, who has announced that this is his last season in the game. He would love to quit with an appearance in the inaugural grand final at Old Trafford.
Some of these tackles, Eddie, they are really hurting. Perolini and Cunningham, they're getting the shoulder into it. They're going to be battered and bruised, these players.
Donegal is battered and bruised. He's taken a heavy knock. Just about gets the strength to play the ball. Found Lowe's, who found McNamara, who found Robbie Paul. Another big stream of forward pass. And Donegal will have to leave the field to get that stitched. Kick slid through. Newlove read the script. And Newlove's off. Off goes Newlove. What a run. Sullivan's on his inside. There he is. He goes round by Kona and bounces away from another. But Scales comes back with an important tackle. Aitchison. St Helens are rampant. Long. Out wide it goes from Long. Bounces before it reaches Chris Smith. Smith dancing his way to within 8 metres of the line. Flicks the pass away brilliantly. Sculthorpe just hold back. Magnificent attacking play from the Saints. Long. They're still not done. Aitchison. Back to Martin. A brilliant try. A brilliant, brilliant St Helens try. What about that? Absolutely breathtaking stuff from St Helens. Started by Newlove in his own quarter and finished by Tommy Martin. Fabulous.
They will not come much better than this. This was the first break. The kick through. Newlove showed all the strength. Swatted, blows away. Get out of the way. Back on the inside. Where are you, Anthony? He said, I'm here. I'm into top gear too. Good tackle there. Put him out. Scales, but from that position. What a beautiful offload by the fullback, Paul Aitchison. The defence was completely bamboozled. They had to rush back. Chris Smith going straight through. Offload there, Sculthorpe. The defence did well, they scrambled. McNamara was in there, so was the fullback Spruce. But watch this beautiful offload by the fullback. Vicona had been sucked on the inside. What a fantastic try.
Well, he's had to wait a long time for that, but that is the 90th try of Tommy Martin's career. The last he scored this season on Good Friday against the old enemy. Slightly more difficult for Sean Long this time, but he's got an impeccable record thus far. 3 from 3 for Long. 18 points to 8 for the Saints.
The angle runner back on the inside. It was absolutely superb, wasn't it? They were waiting for the man on the inside. The decoy was superb. They thought that Joint was going to get it back on the inside. Martin takes it through. Well, I don't think I've seen an effort from Saints all this season as good as this. That was outstanding.
A sensational try, that. Worth the admission money alone. Bradford, if they didn't know it before, they know now they're in a fight. St Helens offloading the ball brilliantly. There must have been about 4 offloads in that movement alone. 24 minutes gone. It's flashed by, and Deacon is picked up and dunked. It was Fielden. This now is Callan.
Well, the Bulls know they've been in a scrap already. There's blood all over the place. Some big hits out there.
That's a good kick from Deacon, but it's too far forward. Aitchison was all on his own, and off he goes.
Well, the counter-attacks from St Helens are quite incredible. They're quite happy to keep this ball alive well within their own half.
Sculthorpe, that's the second tackle. Cunningham dummy half. Davidson to trundle it further upfield again.
Sharing the work as well of the Saints pack. They really are working overtime, including the hooker Cunningham. Of course, 2 tries already.
Long, a real live wire. Sean Long. Sullivan in space, an outrageous dummy. Sullivan's on his inside. Sullivan in support. Joint's there as well. Sullivan taking them on. Oh, he straightens up. What an effort. What a try. He's over. But what a double movement.
He wants to see it. Well, I'm afraid Sean Long may have bombed this. He should have held on to the ball, attracted the fullback, but he gave it far too early for Sullivan. Deacon got a fingertip to him. Now then, the ball carrying arm is not on the ground yet. That'll be a try.
Looks it. The St Helens supporters who are watching the big screen here at Knowsley Road believe so as well. The critical moment.
Well, it's a ball carrying arm that's creating the problem. That's okay. There's nobody to him.
Exactly, nobody there.
Spruce gets to him just about now, and he's reaching out. He tries to stop him, and he's still moving, and the strength gets him there. Did not touch the ground, the ball carrying arm. This is TRY for mine. Video referee obviously wants to see whether there was just a halting momentum forward. This is perhaps what he's looking at right now. Did he stop it? And was that a second effort? Pretty difficult. I mean, that is a very slow motion replay. I think that he was trying to get the strength across. Now, I reckon this will be a try. It deserves one.
Well, the video ref is having a long, hard look at this.
That's a critical point. Did Spruce halt the man's progress? Did he stop the arm for a split second? And if he did, it's only a split second. That's it. They're holding the frame there. But the arm is still moving. I don't want to be too pedantic about that, but I know we've got to look at these video replays frame by frame, but I think that deserves a try. I don't think he was halted. It's a dodgy one. Bradford, of course, will hope that it is not allowed.
Well, it's a big call coming up here from the video ref. This could kill off Bradford. Watch the decision. Tries not given, and penalty kick to the defence. So the video ref decided it was a double movement.
Well, it was a hard one, but Sullivan knows that if he'd have been given the ball from Sean Long after he made that superb break a little bit later, there would have been no chance of stopping him. This is the break from Sean Long. Threw a beautiful dummy, didn't he? But he offloads far too early. And he gave Spruce the chance to then go to his left and get to Sullivan.
Well, that could have made a heck of a difference to the Bradford Bulls season. That decision, which could have gone either way, went in their favour. And is it the moment, I wonder, that Bradford suddenly believe this game can be won? By Kona, clattered to the ground by Sullivan with a bit of help from Aitchison. Callan the dummy half. This is Paul Deacon now. Good run from the youngster. It ends in front of Newler. Lowe's appealing to the referee that Deacon's trying to get to his feet. Long pass out wide from Paul to McNamara. Then it goes to Bradley. Bradley back to McNamara. And the ball comes loose.
Trying to keep it alive, the loose forward. And again, impressive defence. That really is strong defence by the Saints. They're moving forward. The big problem for the Bulls is that they just cannot hold on to the possession for any period of time. They really have controlled most of this match so far of the Saints. And that must be troubling their coach, Matthew Elliott. The Bradford Bulls boss has got to try to get them back into this game somehow.
Well, it's a real mess there, but Chris Smith got to his feet eventually. This is Joint. Joint trying to get to his feet. McNamara all over him. Penalty to St Helens. McNamara will be spoken to by the referee.
Well, he's allowed him plenty of latitude up until this point. You could see there that McNamara was having a second bite at him. It's obviously a ploy that Matthew Elliott has sent out and said, look, Saints are playing this ball far too quickly. Try to get the player onto his back. Try to slow them down. And at 18-8, he knows that they are well and truly on the rack.
This is Long, and now Perolini. Forshaw was in there first. Deacon followed him in, and Lowe's was also there. This is Joint. No, it isn't. It went the other way and found Davidson. He flicks the ball back. Cunningham. There's Perolini. Now it's with Joint.
Well, again, we find them very flat-footed when they really should be running onto the football. There's nothing wrong with that. He's allowed to move at the first marker.
Here's Long. Busy player, Sean Long. Knox got to him. Last tackle here for Saints. It's with Martin. He's going to hoist the bomb again. And they're all after it out wide. The two Smiths are there. They all missed it.
Took the man out again. You've got to go for the football.
Penalty to Bradford.
It's a great ploy again, and you can see it's that man, Damien Smith. He tried to impress upon the referee that he was going for the football, but it was quite clear. Smith, the centre, went for the man instead of the football.
Damien Smith, try against Huddersfield here a couple of weeks ago. Centre for the last 8 now, and Sean McRae watching on. Job for half an hour or so, pretty well done. This is McDermott. Sculthorpe and Davidson get to him. Lowe's the dummy half. Deacon, almost a little half break. O'Neill got to him. Lowe's a dummy half. Deacon, then Forshaw. And now Bradley.
Ooh, swinging arm there. Smith caught Bradley over the top of the shoulder, looking to get away with that. Bradley doesn't like it.
McNamara, long ball to Robbie Paul. Robbie Paul tried to straighten it up, and Long did well. Spruce, Lowe's, high hanging kick, too long.
Bitterly disappointed there, the opportunity. The hooker Lowe's, far too strong. The idea was there. You could see that Scales was bouncing down. Injury to one of the Saints players in the background.
Tommy Martin it is who's receiving treatment. Let's get news from the touchline. Angela Powers is down there listening to what's being said at the benches.
Well, the news down here is there's one key quality that Bradford are looking for now, and that's composure. They've really got to keep it together in these last 10 minutes leading up to half-time. They've got a couple of injuries down here as well.
Newlove on the burst. In field it goes to Sculthorpe, a ton of St Helens support with Sculthorpe, but he has to take the tackle. This is Chris Smith. Long takes over. Great run from Long, hit the ball at pace. Joint, the captain, at dummy half. Long is injured. Sculthorpe switches it back the other way. Chris Smith flicks it back. O'Neill flicks it back. Aitchison spins and goes down 10 metres from the line. Cunningham on a hat-trick. Cunningham dabs it through. He was nearly there. It's come free again. McNamara's trapped in goal.
Play the knock on. No advantage offered there. Well, Cunningham going for his third try there. Spruce just got to it, didn't he, in time. Oh, he was lucky there, Spruce, wasn't he? Didn't know where that football was going.
Stay inside, till he's out the back.
Well, they've been offered a couple of lifelines of the Bradford Bulls so far. That no try to Sullivan, that really could have just put one of the final nails in the coffin.
Well, we rudely interrupted Angela Powers because of Newlove's break. Let's go back down to her.
Well, it is that composure that they're still looking for from Bradford. They really need to make sure that they don't concede another try before half-time. St Helens, their game plan is going right to plan. What they really want to do is keep it fast, keep it furious, and stop them from passing this ball about. St Helens are really just looking to keep going for this next 7 minutes, and they're happy with the way things are at the moment.
I'm sure Sean McRae is. This is McNamara now. He slides the kick through, and he's inviting Robbie Paul to have a run. Aitchison's there, and he covers the danger, but it's a drop out underneath the Saints' posts.
Good option there by the Bradford Bulls. They realise that Paul Aitchison, not one of the fastest fullbacks in Super League, but his positional play is quite outstanding. And you can see that it took him a while to get the old legs moving, but he had it always under control. He knew that Robbie Paul was behind him. As I mentioned, he may not be a speedster, but Aitchison does certainly know how to position himself out there on the field.
This is a big blow for Saints. Tommy Martin off, and Paul Anderson replaces him. Anderson was receiving treatment just a few minutes ago, taking a breather on the bench. Wonder if he'll be back. The Bulls will come back with Forshaw.
Well, he's certainly the playmaker, isn't he, Tommy Martin? A lot of the moves evolve around him, so yes, they will miss him. Obviously, Sean Long will take over the kicking duties.
There's an ankle problem by the looks of things. This now is young Stuart Fielden. He's bounced his way almost to the line. What an outstanding prospect this young man is. Lowe's, Deacon, another great youngster, hangs on, but has to take the tackle from Damien Smith. Lowe's is the dummy half. 6.5 to half-time. Slides the kick through. Oh, and a knock-on in his own in-goal area by Paul Aitchison.
Be a drop out from underneath the post. Well, a kicking ploy certainly is working for Bradford. It's got them back into this match, and you can see there that Aitchison made a real meal of it. Took it on the blind side, did the hooker, James Lowe's. It was a crafty move.
So a drop out from underneath their own post, and St Helens in no great hurry to take it. The Saints have overwhelming superiority over Bradford here over the past quarter of a century. 24 played here at Knowsley Road, and only 4 victories for the Bradford Bulls.
Oh, what an incredible run. Good run there, but was well met by Sculthorpe.
Deacon to McNamara. Here now is Robbie Paul. He's got a little more room, maybe, now that Tommy Martin is off the field, and the news is he's got strained ankle ligaments, and he probably will not return. And there's the problem he's got. He probably will not be able to return to this match, which is a bitter blow for St Helens, but not while Matt Callan keeps putting the ball down.
Oh, an awful mistake there by Callan. He took his eyes off the football. Nothing wrong with the pass. You could see he's just having a quick look towards Newlove. You saw it quite clearly there. It's only a split second, but it can be vital.
O'Neill.
Saints will be quite happy now. 18-8, just to use the big forwards to trundle down, make sure they get into the Bradford half. That way they can get a long kick downfield.
Sculthorpe tackled by Bradley. Damien Smith tackled by Bradley and McDermott. Cunningham dummy half. Goldspink, well, he gets the rounds of the kitchen from the St Helens supporters every time he appears. Brett Goldspink, he's had the temerity to sign a contract for Wigan next year, and they don't like it on the terraces at Nosey Road. It's bound to unsettle the Australian. That was a high shot by Joint on Vicona.
Well, it was a good kick and chase, and not the best player there by the Saints skipper. And does all the good from that beautiful kick down into the corner. This will give Bradford a little bit of breathing space, also an extra 40 metres upfield.
Bradford could do with a try in the next 3.5 minutes to really give their confidence a lift for the second half. Fielden, another great run from him. He really is the find of the season, this young man in the forwards.
Is he ever? He's getting ground forward as well, and he's leading the way. He's leading the way for more experienced players out there.
Deacon's involved in a lot as well. This is Robbie Paul. Good ball back on the inside to Bradley. That was a bit high.
Certainly looked it from Sculthorpe, and Bradley won't like it.
Yes, the flicking and swapping punches. Bradley looks at the touch judge.
Well, it was across the shoulder on the replay. Looked worse than what it was. Bradley didn't want to play the ball. He wanted to have a discussion with the touch judge.
Robbie Paul, 10 metres out with McNamara. Out wide it goes to Vicona. He must score, and he does. Vicona gets his second try of the match, and Bradford Bulls are alive. Remember, they've had a try disallowed, the Saints, on the video referee's decision, and suddenly now, with Martin off the field, Bradford come alive again.
It's always a problem when you're using the sliding defence rather than man-on-man marking. Beautiful long ball there. Sullivan was in no man's land. Again, Sullivan finding himself well off the line. What a beautiful pass out by Steve McNamara. That was quick thinking by the loose forward. Well taken by Vicona. That's his second of the game.
He's a predator, this fellow. He knows where the try line is. So if that was his 91st, that must have been his 92nd in the British game now for Tevita Vicona. He celebrates his 24th birthday on Tuesday. So Cunningham's on a hat-trick for Saints. Vicona's on a hat-trick now for the Bulls. And this is a pretty important kick coming up from Steve McNamara. 2 successful kicks from McNamara so far, 18-12. This for 18-14. And the match has a much different complexion on it as they go to the half-time siren. Trying to drift it in towards the posts, but he's pushed it too far wide. 18-12.
There's Sullivan, he's circled as soon as he got the long ball out wide, and Sullivan knew it. He tried to leap to get to the football. Vicona, open space. He loves doing this. The Bulls are not finished by any means.
Well, Vicona's in great form, isn't he? 4 clean breaks tonight, normally just the one.
40 seconds.
And inside the last half minute or thereabouts, and I just wonder how big a call that will be from the video referee when he disallowed that St Helens try. 18-12, Bradford was sunk if that one had gone in. As it is, they're fighting, and we have got a second half to savour. The first half's not been bad. It's not over yet. Joint gets it away to Anderson.
Well, Saints must be wondering what they have to do to put the Bulls away. They have really controlled this first half. So many breaks. They've split the Bradford defence so many times, and yet the scoreline is so close.
This now is John Scales. Goldsmith gets to him. So too does Anderson. What a first half. What a fantastic first half that was from these two champion teams. St Helens, the inaugural champions. Doniger looks like he might have a problem as he leaves the field for the half-time break. But the 1996 inaugural champions, St Helens, against the reigning champions, the Bradford Bulls. And at the moment, the Saints are shading it. 18 points to 12. Bradford, though, know that are trying a goal away, and what a second half we're in for.
Super League on Sky is sponsored by JJB Sports.
September. After the frustration of France '98, England travelled to Sweden for their first European Championship qualifier. Sunderland put the disappointment of the playoffs behind them and continue their quest for promotion against newly promoted Bristol City. It's the London derby as the capital's foreign legions of Chelsea and Arsenal clash at Stamford Bridge. The first leg of round 2 of the Worthington Cup. Two awesome encounters as the champions take on a reinforced Man United, while from north of the border comes the season's first Old Firm derby. Chelsea travel to Ewood Park to meet Blackburn. It's a clash of epic proportions as Man United's Jaap Stam is for the first time pitted against Liverpool's boy wonder, Michael Owen. Terry, we'll be hoping that Crystal Palace can take maximum points from Sheffield United. September, football heaven on Sky Sports.
Can you just bring your own round?
Yeah.
Okay. Don't go till I'm ready.
These stairs are a nightmare.
I tell you, I just hope this goes in your van.
Easy. How's that motor of yours?
Oh, I got rid of that one. I've just got a new Golf.
Yeah? How much does that set you back?
I'll tell you later.
At Vision Express, we're always thinking about you. Which is why we're bringing you Flex-On Return to Shape frames. Another revolutionary product at Vision Express.
You're always looking for ways to improve the appearance of your wrinkles. So Rock has added twice as much retinol to Retinol Concentré Pur All-Night Treatment. Visibly reducing fine lines in 4 weeks. Retinol Concentré Pur from Rock. We keep our promises.
Armageddon, a Jerry Bruckheimer production, directed by Michael Bay.
Puma and JJB Sports bring you the Roots of the Game competition, a fantastic chance to win thousands of prizes. Make sure you're a winner with Puma at your local JJB Sports store now.
From the makers of Lethal Rage 4 comes their most explosive film yet.
Mr. Darcy, what an unexpected pleasure.
The pleasure's all mine. Would you care for some tea? Oh, how very kind.
One lump or two?
3, actually.
How refreshing. How Heineken.
Super League on Sky is sponsored by JJB Sports.
There's more live one-day international cricket coming up on Tuesday morning as England take on South Africa, live from Edgbaston, Tuesday morning from 10:30 on Sky Sports 1. But right now, what a match from the top of the Super League. The two champions, champions of 96, St Helens 18, reigning champions Bradford Bulls 12. And there's nothing really between these two sides. It is bubbling up to a magnificent match. And this is the scene inside the St Helens dressing room at the moment. And Sean McRae, the man standing there just making his point, the St Helens coach, he must be well pleased, but I think the worry he's got is that Tommy Martin, by the looks of things, won't be coming out for the second half. And just along the corridor in the Bradford dressing room, I wonder if that news has reached the ears of Matthew Elliott and the Bradford Bulls. Well, 2 weeks ago, we were at the Halifax against Wigan game at the New Shea, and we said then that probably was one of the best matches of 1998. It certainly was. This, though, is rivaling it every inch of the way. There have been some magnificent moments in the game already. There's lots more to come in the second half. Steve-O, it's a privilege to be here.
Certainly is one of the best 40 minutes that we've seen. I think that the crowd is also enjoying it. I'm sure you at home, the viewers, are doing exactly the same thing. It was a real tough contest, though, Eddie. It was something that I just have never seen for a long, long time. The players really went into each other. There was no love lost between the two sides. But the big problem now, perhaps, for St Helens is they'll be wondering why on earth have they not been having a more convincing lead, because they had so much of the play in that first 40 minutes, and yet Bradford are still only 6 points adrift.
Well, they are, aren't they? They're well and truly in the hunt, and really, I suppose the St Helens supporters will be saying that's a bit of a travesty, the fact that Bradford are still in it.
In many ways, I mean, they got off to a beautiful start, didn't they? I mean, the forwards were so powerful, and Cunningham, I mentioned in the commentary that he's put on a lot of weight. Perellini back on the inside, and then the strength here. That is superb strength by Perellini, who really has added an extra dimension to the Saints' attack. But full credit to him. Now, this is the run from Sean Long. Now, if you watch it, he throws a dummy here. It's beautiful work, splits the defence. But look how he passes the ball far too early. He really should have committed Spruce the full back, and it allowed Spruce the chance to force out Sullivan and then make the gasp there. Now, it's a pretty controversial decision, this. Now, you've got to watch it. The video referee has given the intention that Sullivan, not at this point, that's fine, because Spruce doesn't make contact with him. Now, when Spruce makes contact here, he doesn't stop him, and the video referee now claims that Sullivan's fingers have hit the ground. And that is classified as a ball-carrying arm, that's the point where he makes the contact there, so therefore the tackle was completed, and that's why the penalty was given.
And that video referee's decision, Steve-O, denied Anthony Sullivan there the 150th try of his St Helens career.
And not only that, I also feel that at 18-8, if they'd have scored that try, I think Bradford would have had no chance of coming back. But Sullivan, well, he could have been a hero, but he certainly was a villain there. That's the second time he's been caught out, coming in off the wing by Kona. But it was a beautiful long pass by Steve McNamara, and McNamara really is trying to get back into this game. And the last 10-15 minutes of that first half, I get the impression that Bradford were building in confidence. But if Sullivan had had that try given, when it was 22, perhaps they could have kicked the goal. It may have been 24 points. I honestly don't think that the Bulls would have got back into the match.
Well, they most certainly can come back into this match now, because it's only 18-12 at half-time. Tommy Martin off the field, as we say, injured, probably not going to come back. St Helens have got a wonderful record against Bradford Bulls here at Nosey Road, but you know, in Super League, they've only won one in the Super League against Bradford, that way back in '96. What's going to happen here second half?
Super League on Sky is sponsored by JJB Sports.
From their jobs. They've spent their savings.
We don't need the money for no job.
What's going to happen to them this week?
We're on the pole tonight.
Grease Uncovered, tonight at 10 on Sky One.
36 check wipers, 24 check spare tyre, 68 check wear and tear. Final preparation check A, steam clean body, B, clean seats.
As well as 114 rigorous checks on every used car, the meticulous people at Network Q now do 9 final preparation checks too.
G, fit air freshener.
Network Q, total commitment to used car quality. From Vauxhall.
If you like going clubbing, occasionally. If you laugh about sex, quite often. If you sometimes spend money like there's no tomorrow, but you don't just live for today. If you're a saint in the kitchen, but not always elsewhere. If you've grown up without growing old, and you don't want to have it all. You just want to have what you want. It's probably time you saw red.
New Foam Burst Gel from Imperial Leather. It starts foaming instantly and forms an incredibly rich lather. You'll notice the improvement in the condition of your skin after just one shower. And clothes will find you irresistible. New Foam Burst Gel from Imperial Leather.
Sarah, I don't quite know how to say this, but I've been seeing someone else.
Creamy smooth Hellmann's mayonnaise in a conveniently squeezable pack.
Hellmann's, the only mayonnaise.
2 pints of art, please.
That's Arb Irish.
Oh, yeah?
Yep, brewed to an original 4.3% Irish recipe. Well?
It tastes great to me.
Well, that's all right then.
It's the full 4.3% Irish. Hop Irish lager.
So what's your other half doing tonight?
A new season, a new start, but old habits die hard. Live from Highbury, the champions begin their title defence.
Would you believe it?
And they've already made their intentions clear. Ford Monday Night Football, Arsenal versus Forest, tomorrow at 7 live on Sky Sports 1.
Super League on Sky is sponsored by JJB Sports.
Live Worthington Cup football coming up Wednesday night, Sky Sports 2 at 7:30. The second leg of the first round between Manchester City and Notts County. Right now it's the JJB Super League and the race for the top 5. Saints against Bradford, the 2 champions of the inaugural 2 years of the summer era. Battling it out head-to-head and toe-to-toe, 18-12 at half-time. Matthew Elliott, I wonder whether he has used the words of wisdom that will win this match for his team and his supporters. They are desperate for a place in the 5, as is Sean McRae. Sean McRae, the coach of St Helens, at least until the end of this season, and what a farewell it would be if McRae led the Saints out at Old Trafford on grand final night.
Well, the way they played in the opening 20 minutes, they certainly are in with a big chance.
Bradford have to play Halifax next weekend. It's a big 7 or 8 days for them. They need a victory here. 2 mightily important matches, and Paul Deacon has gone down in the very first seconds of this second half for Bradford. He took a nasty bang there in trying to make the attempted tackle. McDermott was pretty high over the top of Goldspink.
He went very awkward there into the tackle, did Paul Deacon. And he's still in a lot of trouble, he's a youngster. Let's hope he's okay.
Long, out wide it goes, and Sullivan somehow managed to wheel that ball in one-handed. This is Newlove to Long again. Kick downfield.
Safety first there by Sean Long.
The reaction from him, Steve-O, I think he's trying to keep the ball in the field of play here.
There you saw that the winger, Anthony Sullivan, had just gone out of the blocks a little bit too early. He's playing well, though, is Sean Long. There was another outrageous dummy that he threw.
Well, I think he's got a bit more confidence now because he knows that Bobby Goulding has left the club and is now at the Huddersfield Giants. So Sean Long, you would imagine, for the foreseeable future anyway, is the St Helens first choice scrum half.
And he fully deserves it. He's playing well out there. Paul Deacon had to trot back nearly 65 metres to feed that scrum. He seems okay, probably just winded.
Forshaw takes that tackle, he plays the ball. And here comes McNamara, who goes down in a heap. Does he, or is he forced out of the field of play? No, he goes down. The ball came free, he lost that. He lost that. Smith thought he was away for the try line. Stuart Cummings in communication with his touch judge and with the man in the stand who's assessing performances all on the field of play.
Stole the ball. Well, he's saying he stole the ball, but it was his own player that actually took the ball away. It was stolen, but it wasn't the Saints player that stole it. Not with my eyes, anyway.
You've not got the earpiece.
If that's what he does, I don't want the earpiece. Well, I think it was Scales that took it out.
Well, Bradford won't be complaining. St Helens will. Here's James Lowes at dummy half. That was Deacon, fully fit again. Now Forshaw. Bradford know a big start to this second half's vital for them. Lowes. Support arrives from Deacon, who just ducked the shoulder. Released the pass to McDermott. He'll straighten it up.
Good play by the young little half, Paul Deacon. Nice surge also by James Lowes. More of that.
This is Robbie Paul. Out wide it goes. And Stuart Spruce. Good pass then to Calland. Calland disappears under the challenge. Anderson and Newlove were the men in there. Robbie Paul dummy half this time. McNamara, long ball to Forshaw. Bradley on his inside wants it. He's burst through. Try for Bradley. Graham Bradley gets the Bulls back with a vengeance. The captain with the captain's knock. And Bradley with a vital try for the Bradford Bulls.
Good work, put them in the corner. Good position, long ball out wide. It was a superb pass out there. And Forshaw just offload. That was sheer strength there by the Bulls skipper Bradley. McNamara's long ball out wide was superb. Forshaw just dinked it in. And there was nothing that Damien Smith could do about that. The big centre Bradley powerhouses his way through. Forshaw just dinked and then offloaded. He came onto the ball at the right time. That's a great effort.
Great try from Graham Bradley. And he scored here in the 38-20 win last year. Well, Bradley has said he will retire at the end of this season, but he's just breathed life into the Bradford Bulls' assault on the playoff places. And McNamara levels it. It's 18-all at Knowsley Road. Matthew Elliott, no emotion on that face.
This is how you stretch a sliding defence with a superb long pass like this. From the loose forward Steve McNamara, it was outstanding. Beautiful offload also from Forshaw, but Bradley came at the right time. It's all about timing, and I'm afraid Sean McRae will not be impressed with that. They were stretched on 2 occasions to get into that position for Bradford to score that try. Well, what a turnaround. 18-8, Sullivan had that try disallowed. You mentioned it, Eddie. Could that be the turning point for Bradford?
Penalty to St Helens. Someone going high on Chris Smith. Yes, I think that was a vital call by the video referee, Steve-O, but I do honestly think the turning point came when Tommy Martin went off the field.
Well, it certainly was a bitter blow to them. As I mentioned, they could have gone in 24 points in the lead. And I really don't think even Bradford could have got out of that one. There's a quick shot of the man who's had to leave the field, Tommy Martin. He engineers most of their moves out there, but I really think they could have had points on the board.
Penalty now to St Helens, and Bradley, was it, talking back to referee Stuart Cummings? And he's marched 10 metres towards the posts. Long takes a quick tap penalty, trying to catch them cold and nearly did. This is Cunningham to joint to within 10 metres of the line. Aitchison from dummy half, back to Chris Smith. Strong defence again from Bradford.
That'll be a penalty right in front.
And Bradley and Chris Smith tangling on the floor.
Well, how many times have we seen Graham Bradley, the Bulls skipper, talk and chat to the referee in a manner that gives them a penalty? That surprised me that Saints didn't take the 2 points on offer before this. They will now, smack in front. But he does lose his composure, doesn't he? The big Australian centre, Bradley, gets himself involved. There you see the elbow across the face of Smith.
Well, Bradley was obviously all fired up because he back-chatted to the referee, which will not have pleased Matthew Elliott. Looks like he's getting a message down to the team about something or other.
Well, he's furious, isn't he? And rightly so.
Well, Bradley's just put them back in the game, and now Saints are going to wrest the advantage again, which they do.
And by that one man. It was Bradley that made sure that he's chatted to the referee, got him another 10. Deary me, he really does lose his composure, and it's the elbow onto Smith. It was reefed away, but also the elbow into the face didn't help. And onto the neck. Well, as you say, Eddie, he's a fiery character.
Well, hero to villain in the state of 2 minutes for Graham Bradley. Right, Bradford again trail 20 points to 18 early in this second half. What was said at half-time, Angela?
Well, Sean McRae has been looking very closely at Saints' defence here. He's not happy that they're sliding when they should do. He wants them to be more alert and to move out to the wing so that Bradford can't exploit that side. There is confirmation that Tommy Martin's ankle injury is Achilles. It's Achilles tendon that's injured, but they're also looking at Sean Long. They think he might be concussed from a tackle in the late side of the first half. On the other side, Bradford are much happier with their second quarter, but they really want to carry that on and make sure they do keep exploiting this wing.
That's a lovely dink over the top. Spruce was after it. Chris Smith read the script. Good tackle by McNamara. So it's an Achilles problem for Martin, not ankle ligaments.
By the way,
supporters screaming for an offside decision that never came, and Sullivan did not play the ball properly.
Well, that really is a sin. Elementary mistake. Never made any attempt. He was more intent of getting the elbow and pushing the man facing him. I think it was young Paul Deacon. Well, losing your marbles yet again, not the best thing to do. He was caught out twice, out of position in the first half. One he got away with, the second one it allowed Vicona to score that try just before the half-time break.
Chris Joint just having a word with Stuart Cummings, I think, questioning the fact that Deacon was all over the back of Anthony Sullivan, and maybe the penalty should have gone the other way. But here's an opportunity now for Steve McNamara to get Bradford level again. 9.5 minutes of the second half gone. This tonight at Knowsley Road is an absolute cauldron. As I said in the first half, if it's like this when the 2 points are at stake, what happens when we get down to elimination in the playoffs?
World War III, that's what happens.
Big kick this for McNamara, he knows it too. Trying to compose himself. Gets the two, scores a level. 20 points all here at Knowsley Road. Mike Gregory and Sean McRae not impressed. I wouldn't know what thoughts are going through the mind of Matthew Elliott. I think they're happy enough that it's 20 all, and there's a relief man.
Pressure kick as well for the loose forward, Steve McNamara, and a pretty slow start to this season. But he's certainly got back to his best.
Long underneath the kick-off, and Julian O'Neill will run it back only as far as Brian McDermott. Well, these, of course, are the stars of today. Join Steve-O on Sky Sports 3 Tuesday at 6:30 to watch the stars of tomorrow in the Academy League. It's Saints and Bradford that's the main event in the Academy League this week. There's a penalty now to Saints. Interference as they tried to get back to his feet. There's one of the young men, Paul Deacon, who's graduated through the Bradford Academy and is now starring in the Super League.
Not starting here, I'm afraid. And a second go at Smith, and giving away another penalty. And not surprisingly, the official having a word with the Bulls skipper, saying if you can't sort it out, I will. And composure is going to be the key now. I just get the feeling that whoever scores next will probably go on and win this match.
That's a big shout in a match like this. Aitchison, Damien Smith, Chris Smith. Goldspink was the runner on his inside, and Chris Smith was determined to battle it out on his own.
Quick thinking there from the winger. You could see that the markers were not set in place.
Lowe's had a little flick then into the face of Chris Smith as the play moved away. There is a lot of feeling out there on this field. Joint with a strong run. He's lost it though.
Went straight into McDermott, and the impact, lost possession. Well, we said composure would be a key, and they really wanted to just pile it through so they could utilize the kick. McDermott hit the ground, but the ball went with him.
Vicona grounded. Lowe's is the dummy half. They go down the blind side, and that's Doniger. Now it's with McNamara. Forshaw, the runner in centre field, flicks the pass away. Lowe's knocked on. He will protest long and loud his innocence.
We took it on the half volley. I think it may have come off his boot. That's why he's looking aghast at the official, Stuart Cummins. I think he may have been badly done to there, the hooker Lowe's. Didn't seem to lose it, did it?
He had it in just the one hand, didn't he? That probably convinced Stuart Cummins that he had lost control of it. A couple of big calls in this game, not least the fact that the next team will win from my learned friend.
And that's why I'd be looking to try to go for the one-pointer. Use the forwards, try to get as near to those sticks as they can.
Anderson filling the shoes of Martin, back to Davidson, on to Sculthorpe. Next team to win. Next team to score will win, is what I should have said about 4 times. Long.
Creating a lot of problems, especially when he runs on the arc like that, but the defence was up to it.
Sculthorpe, angled kick across the face. Bradley goes down in a heap with Damien Smith. And the referee is not convinced anything happened there, so the ball was diffused in goal. 20-metre tap for the Bulls.
Did well, did Scales there. I think he just forgot the rule in there, Scales. He thought, well, I'll keep you running. I don't think there was anything in it with Bradley being knocked to the ground. I think they were both looking at the football at the same time, just collided.
Field and another strong run from the teenager. Quick play the ball to Lowe's. He's on his own. He's got support now from Deacon, who fires McNamara wide.
And to be fair, this Stuart Field, and he was a man midway through that first half that really stepped up the attack for the Bulls. He was leading the way.
Spruce is doing that now. He's got support there from Knox, just back on for
Forward.
the pass to Forshaw.
It was as well. Great position by Stuart Cummins. But what a great build-up by the Bradford Bulls. They're getting back into the swing of things now. Here's a jinking run from Spruce, offloads, makes a half break, half a metre forward.
I wonder with that earpiece in Stuart Cummings' ear, if he's in touch with the man in the stand, if he hears the shout of forward down his ear every time something like that happens.
Well, I don't think he'd be listening to an FM radio station, will he? What's the point having a bloke in the stands if he's not going to talk to him? It's hardly a stylish piece of equipment, is it?
I've seen better.
Probably wouldn't fit your ears.
Oh, you're on about me ears now, are you?
Give your nose a rest.
Here's Long. Davidson.
Good defence there by Bradley. Oh, he's lost it. And I don't think they touched it. Yes, he has.
Davidson said it was reefed out. It was pulled out, he says.
Well, we'll see.
He's right.
I think he was right. I think it was Lowe's that got a fingertip to it. Well, Lady Luck shining on the ball. No reference to Davidson, I'd like to point out. And it was Lowe's, the left hand.
O'Neill comes off. Perolini has returned. Spruce with the run.
He's had a fine match with the fullback, Stuart
New love
Spruce.
all over. Stuart Spruce, penalty against him.
Well, he's warned them. Cummings, the official, has told him.
He warned Bradford, didn't he? He's not warned Saints yet.
You've got to get the message across. You can see Newlove just trying to keep him down, make sure that the defence gets back into position.
Said you watched it, well, that would be another big call from the referee to put someone in the sin bin with a match of this intensity and this importance at 20 all. It's been going on all night.
Well, we'll have to wait and see whether the Bulls opt for the 1 point. Keeping it pretty tight in the forwards. So it indicates that perhaps they will be going and setting up for it.
McNamara flicks the pass away. Forshaw somehow held on. The crowd think he didn't hold on. It was Crowlers, not Forshaw. I beg his pardon. This is Paul. Robbie Paul plays the ball. Here goes Lowe's. The
Good run by
defence stands firm.
Good run by Lowe's there, but Cunningham.
This is the last. McNamara one-pointer, drop goal, and he gives the Bulls the lead for the first time tonight. Bradford hit the front.
Didn't take them long to realise that 1 point could win it. Makes no difference, 100 or 1. 2 vital points for the league ladder. No great emotion there by Matthew Elliott, but I'm sure he'll be pleased with the way that the loose forward set himself up there. The most amazing thing about that is that no one applied any pressure.
Referee has held the clock up because Bradford in no hurry to restart this match.
But I just can't believe that the Saints defence didn't realise, with the scores locked together, that the loose forward, who they know is a goal kicker, and they know he's a kicker in open play as well, and no one applied any pressure. He had all the time in the world to put that 1 point over.
Perolini runs it back. Join us Wednesday at 8:30 for World of Super League on Sky Sports 3. We will be, of course, keeping tabs on the big news from Gateshead this week. They're due a decision tomorrow on whether they will be joining the Super League party in 1999. Kerrod Walters, rumoured to be on his way as team captain from Australia. All sorts of rumours too about the coaching position. We'll keep you in touch. World of Super League Wednesday, and we look back at this epic between Saints and Bradford. An epic is what it is. Sculthorpe fires the pass to his captain, Joint. We've got 21 minutes remaining. Saints hoist the bomb via Long. Scales has lost it. Aitchison will score. But Willie, the referee hasn't given it.
Check to see if the kicker was onside.
Was he onside? If he was, he certainly got it down.
Was a beautiful long kick. Long again. Bang. Off it went. He seems all right. No doubt about it. Aitchison is on the left-hand side. He's the nearest to Sean Long, the man who's kicking. So he's onside. And Scales made a meal of this one. Oh, what a high kick. Superb effort. Bang. Aitchison over. Well, I may be eating my words here. Bradford went into the lead just a few moments ago for the first time. I thought that might have sealed it, but that man, Aitchison, he'll be happy. It'll be TRY.
Sean McRae waits for the decision. Mike Gregory's on the phone. What will the video ref decide? I think we know. St Helens regain the lead. Bradford won't thank me for reminding them, but remember, St Helens bombed their way to a Challenge Cup win at Wembley in 1996. Have they just bombed their way to victory in the Super League tonight?
It was an enormous kick, wasn't it? Plenty of height on this. Gives the time to get to the man. He did the right thing, did Scales. He put himself in a good position, but just lost it completely. The lights may have played its part there.
5 tries in his last 3 matches for the St Helens full-back. Long, bang in front, 2 more points. Saints ahead by 5, 26-21.
Well, what a match this is turning out to be. It started explosively, and you can see he came off the shoulder of Scales right into the arms of Paul Aitchison. Gleefully accepts it. Well, he did everything right about get up in the air, but he just couldn't bring the ball down.
No doubt in your mind that Perolini didn't take the man. He was going for the ball.
Well, I think they both jumped at the same time. He stood away from him. He didn't knock into him. It was Scales who was going into the man running in. That was Perolini.
Ball's come free again. Scales has dropped it, but luckily for him, Spruce was there to pick it up, and Perolini now has conceded the penalty all over the top of the full-back. Well, how many more twists and turns are there in this game? He didn't lose it. Smith bashed the ball out of his arms.
One-on-one, and that should have been all right. That really should have been a scrum down as a knock-on, because Smith was facing forward.
Well, Bradford did regain the possession, and then the penalty was given for lying on. Anyway, 0891 33 13 for your man of the match votes, and the prize, 2 tickets to the grand final. The grand final will be this and more, the 24th of October. You also, of course, go in the draw for a VIP box on the big night. So it could be a wonderful night for you and for the Super League. I'm sure it will be. And will Bradford or St Helens be there? They're battling it out now for 4th and 5th. And this is Forshaw. Flicks the pass out wide by Kona, who's searching the hat-trick. What strength from Vicona.
Super play by Forshaw to get it out wide.
There's the bomb now from Bradford. Looking for Scales over here. He palms the ball back. It's still all on. He hacks it forward, Deacon. And well done, Aitchison again. Paul Aitchison's got his critics in this game. But I tell you what, he's having a wow of a match tonight.
Good work, though, by Scales. He deliberately knocked it back. I'm not so sure that the youngster Paul Deacon took the right option. He may have been better, perhaps, to try to pick up the ball and relaunch another bomb. There's going to be some sore boys out there. This has been one of the toughest of the season.
It's thriller-minute stuff, there's no doubt about that. Off the boot from Sculthorpe. The ball bounces, and Smith flicks it back, did he, or did he flick it forward? The referee will play the first knock-on against Damien Smith. Oh, they don't like that on the terraces.
Well, that's all right. Let's play on.
He knocked it forward, says the referee.
Well, I think that went backwards. There's a ball. That went backwards for mine. And it was a Bradford player that actually brought about the first knock-on.
Robbie Paul. James Lowe's dummy half. McNamara. Lowe's again. Bradley at pace, out wide for Scales. He ducks underneath Damien Smith. Desperate moments now for the Saints. Davidson got to him. Lowe's dummy half to McNamara, on to McDermott. Up the middle goes the prop forward.
Inventive play by Bradford there. The double run around with Lowe's involved.
Paul now up the middle. Robbie Paul! Desperate defence from St Helens. Lowe's off the ground to Deacon. Deacon then to Crowthers, the substitute. Back it goes to McNamara. Bradley wants it high and wide. He's after it. Smith's under it. Chris Smith did well.
Under a lot of pressure as well. Bradley was bearing down on him. Well, Smith deliberately goes for the football. Pretty hard to tell whether it was Bradley or Smith. Well, it was Smith. He went higher.
Yeah, he knocked it dead. So it's a drop out underneath the St Helens sticks to the halfway line, and Spruce will immediately run this ball back. Great run from Spruce. St Helens at the moment under the cosh, but ahead on the scoreboard by 5. Forshaw spins and is wrestled and dragged to the ground by Perolini.
He won't throw the towel in, Mike Forshaw. He's had a big match tonight.
Here's Doniger. Great run from Doniger. Bradford inching towards that St Helens line again. Deacon gets the ball away. Paul now takes over. Robbie Paul
big tackle by
Newlove. Challenge from Newlove.
Was it ever? Ball and all, and it had to be as well.
Here's Fielden.
Watch for the big kick. Left-hand corner, will it be?
Well, they've loaded it this way. It's a slide through, looking for Deacon. Aitchison, I think, has saved another.
He
the
sure
referee
has.
will hand it on to the video ref to decide. Aitchison has grounded that ball. He saved another try.
He didn't ground it the first time. It nestled nicely for him on the second occasion. Beautiful kick, though, from McNamara. That really was a tester. Set move, Deacon was off. And Aitchison, you could see that Deacon timed his run to perfection. He was onside.
They were all waiting for that big kick out wide, weren't they?
They sure were, and Aitchison there didn't get to it on the first occasion. He knocks it back, doesn't ground it here. It bobbles all over the place, and it just nestles very, very nicely indeed in the end. See how his legs come round and then it gets trapped, and that is when it was classified as being diffused. But how close was Deacon?
Well, I think we know what this is going to be. And the decision is no try and a goal line dropout for St Helens. Referee, the video referee that is deliberating long and hard about these tonight. Mind you, it's a vital game. He's already come up with one big call to deny Anthony Sullivan.
Well, you talk about the pressure and how these two sides really have battled it out.
It's getting to us all.
It sure does.
Penalty to Bradford. Stolen in the tackle.
Robbie Paul said he wanted to get on with it. The referee had already blown the whistle. James Lowe's wants to carry on quickly. They're not going for the two, they're running it.
Well, they have to really, I suppose. Lowe's. Deacon. Oh! Spruce went and lost it. St Helens are going to have to come back. Sculthorpe's going to have to come back. The referee has blown the whistle.
Well, it must have been a St Helens hand get in there. I could see that Stuart Cummings was having it. It was a set move.
The thing is, he's put the scrum down here and given the...
Sculthorpe has been deemed to have knocked on. Back on the inside. No, yeah. Spruce knocked on.
And then it came off Sculthorpe, one aside, one each. He went for the first.
So that means that Saints will have the head and feed. You can see that Spruce never had control of that. So therefore, it'll be deemed, or should be deemed, a knock-on by the Bradford Bulls. It was a set move. Working overtime is young Paul Deacon, trying to prise open the St Helens defence. Oh, don't tell me he's giving Bradford the feed.
No, he's giving St Helens head and feed. He's explaining why the decision was given to Paul Sculthorpe. We need the football for Sean Long to feed this scrum. Scott Barrow has just emerged, by the way, for St Helens. He's on the field. What a time to come on for your first match of the season. And there's his first touch. Bradford caught offside at the scrum.
He allowed the advantage. Probably confused quite a few of the fans here. They wouldn't have complained if someone had made a break and gone 50 metres to score.
Here's Goldspink. What a brave run from Goldspink. What a super run from Goldspink. Wigan leads next Friday at 7 on Sky Sports 1, and Halifax Bradford next Sunday at 6:30 Sky Sports 1. Two crucial games at the moment, a must-win for Bradford if they lose here. Well, the St Helens fans booing Brett Goldspink not long ago. They rose to him then with that really strong run.
Well, do they go for the one-pointer? Stretch the lead to 6.
If they thought about it then, Anderson with another high kick. He knows they're a bit vulnerable, and they've lost it again. It's off the St Helens man. Lowe's wraps them up. Right, let's go downstairs, and Angela Powers has been waiting an eternity to talk to Tommy Martin.
Tommy, this is a nail-biter, isn't it?
Yeah, it looks like being a game of two halves here. You know, we was all pressurising the first half, and it was like Bradford are pressurising us in the second.
What do you think is going to make the difference between these two really close teams here now?
I just hope it doesn't come down to a daft refereeing decision, you know, because the game's been played in true spirit, and it's a good, physical game. And, you know, we won't like it to come down to something like that.
Well, you'd love to be on there.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it, you know, just went into a tackle and twisted my ankle. You know, I thought I was doing all right when I was out on the pitch, you know, directing the team, and, you know, fair play to Paul Sculthorpe, he's gone to stand off and he's doing exactly the same.
Thanks, Tommy.
10.5 minutes to go. Who wants it the most? Well, I can tell you they both do. Bradley's dropped it, and the referee will put the scrum down again for a second knock-on against Damien Smith.
And you could see that Bradley had taken his eyes off the football. He had a little look to see where Damien Smith was, and it was vital. That could be a vital error by the Bulls skipper.
Sculthorpe now.
Well, safety first, that's all the Saints have to do. They really don't have to play any fancy football. Composure. He knows that they've got to start keeping this ball alive. The big problem is, can they keep defending?
Newlove almost through. This is Cunningham. Great defence, Crowthers and Paul. Sullivan dummy half. 9.5 minutes to go. Barrow and Long on the run around. Sculthorpe almost through. What a good tackle that was from James Lowes. Long with the one-pointer, gets the one. That stretches the lead to 6. Bradford have to score a converted try, and it'll only be a draw. Quick thinking by Long, not of approval from his coach.
He worked hard, Deacon couldn't get to him. Then a fine night. Sean Long makes some probing runs, and that's a vital 1 point, and he knows it too.
Well, it's a vital time for Matthew Elliott, who's trying to mix and match it and switch it round. Stuart Fielden comes off.
Well, I must say, Eddie,
I think Neil Harmon has returned.
He's played his part, hasn't he, Stuart Fielden?
He has. It's the last throw of the dice needed, though, now for the Bradford Bulls. Remember, a converted try will only give them a share of the spoils here. Who's your man of the match? Take your pick. 0891 33 33 13. Vicona away from Perolini. Aitchison got to him, though.
Again, it was Forshaw that's lifting Bradford back off the floor.
Here's Harmon just on. Fresh pair of legs. Lowe's. That was banged down by Newlove. It's going to be a knock-on against Saints.
Lowe's just trying to get it through. Newlove patting the ball down, so even more pressure now for St Helens. Deliberate knock-on there by Newlove. Really has been a tough encounter between these two sides, and then they've given it everything, haven't they?
It's not over yet. Bradley What a great tackle that was by Sculthorpe. Paul gets it away to Paul Deacon. Crowthers is there in support. And Crowthers is surrounded by St Helens defence. Bradford setting up. And Harmon nearly went without the ball. This now is Spruce. Good tackle by Damien and Chris Smith. Lowe's at dummy half. Spins it into the arms of McNamara. Further wide it goes to Doniger. Good defence again from young Scott Barrow. Robbie Paul. Now it's with Lowe's. He'll slide the kick through. That's off the boot. And Lowe's gets to Sean Long.
Good play though by Sean Long. Anticipated the kick. Made sure that when it did come off his boot, he went straight down onto it. Possession vital now. 6 points between the two sides. Bradford trying to bring about the mistake.
Anderson with a brave run. There's been such passion and commitment on show here tonight. The crowd should stand to a man and applaud these two sides off at the end. We've got 6.5 minutes to go. And who wants the 2 points most now? Saints have got a 6-point lead and they're in possession with Cunningham. He's tackled by Bradley, and Bradley's all over Cunningham and has conceded the penalty.
Plenty of verbals coming out of the mouth of Kieran Cunningham. And Bradley was sucked into this, interfering with Cunningham trying to get on and play the football. You can see a bit of a shot at it, back of the head. Cunningham didn't like it. Lack of composure again from Bradley. And Stuart Cummins told Bradley to get away then.
Well, Graham Bradley is not a lover of match referees or television commentators. Sean Long will win this match. Sean Long wins the game for St Helens. There's no comeback for Matthew Elliott and the Bradford Bulls now. And Bradford pay for a touch of indiscipline there. And Sean Long, he who laughs loudest. Sean Long's won the match. I'm convinced of it now.
I'd have to agree with you there, Eddie. You just saw Sean McRae saying, calm things down now. Celebration. Sadness etched on the face of Matthew Elliott. He knows it's beyond his side. But what a great individual effort this. He's thrown in some enormous dummies today as Sean Long. He probably has come of age as a top quality star footballer tonight. That really was outstanding individual skill. Good balance, good stepping, not a bad smile either. Give me the accolades, he says. They all come and celebrate, and why not? That's how important these two valuable league points are.
They're singing and dancing around Knowsley Road, the home supporters that is. Long with 5 from 5, a drop goal and the try. 15 personal points, this for 17 out of St Helens' total. That will be 33 if and when he kicks it. 17 for Long, 33 for St Helens, and I think this result almost ensures their place in the playoffs.
Speed, balance, ability. See how he looked to the outside to give the impression he was going there. He went the other way, avoids the would-be tackler. The grin is edged across his face. Won't be long, he says. Won't be long. Winning bonus. What a match this has been. What a game he's had.
What? Whoa, how about that? Perolini coming in over the top and cleaning the man out. But what a match Sean Long's had. What a 3 weeks Sean Long's had. 61 points for Sean Long in the last 3 weeks. That's why St Helens were able to allow Bobby Goulding to move to Huddersfield. And Perolini again with a big hit on James Lowes. Crowthers. They have tried hard, Bradford. But on the night, their best just hasn't been good enough. Deacon hacks it on. Forshaw picks up the pieces. Sullivan got the tackle in. Back it comes to Harmon. It's still the last tackle, this. So McNamara will hoist the high kick. Spruce is after it. Oh, and he's lost it. Damien Smith has lost it. And Spruce throws the Bulls a lifeline.
It ain't over yet. Well, what a change of fortune. They really weren't denied there. It was good work by Paul Deacon. It was a set move. It was a nothing kick, really, from McNamara. Smith should have taken that. It really is a soft try. And now McNamara has to get on with the job quickly. Not much time remaining.
Oh, who'd be a coach? Sean McRae must have thought his team were home and hosed. Damien Smith drops it. If McNamara kicks it, they need a converted try again to level things up. McNamara just slides it the wrong side of the post. Oh, Matthew Elliott throws away the headset because he knows, I think, for once and for all now, that they cannot possibly rescue anything from this now. Shallow kickoff. Sculthorpe got to that, it's play on.
Good tactics as well.
Damien Smith's annoyed with himself and with everybody else on the field. Harmon gets the pass away. It's do or die for the Bulls now. Long ball from Forshaw to McNamara. Here's Robbie Paul.
Great defence. Joint went low. Newlove wrapped him up. No chance for Paul to offload.
McDermott drives it in again towards the sticks.
Watch for the special from Lowe's.
James Lowe's back on the inside to Paul. Deacon now. Bradley wants it high and wide. Here it is. Back it goes to Bradley off Scales. Kick from Bradley, but the referee has ruled that Scales was offside. He was stood in front of the kicker.
Well, the option was good there, wasn't it? Scales dropped back. I'm not so sure that wasn't too bad. Well, tense moments all around this ground. And the only piece of the chewing gum that Sean McRae has gone through. But until the final hooter, it won't be all that sweet.
There's the final siren. They have to take the tap. They have to restart the match. The next tackle will be the last. Cunningham will take it. And now that's it. The referee blows the whistle. The game's over. Sean McRae knows his team have moved on and up a cog, but Matthew Elliott now knows at the new Shea next Sunday night, it's do or die for the Bradford Bulls. What a match for Sean Long. 17 points, 61 in the last 3 weeks for him. And the Saints march on and confirm fourth place in the table by 2 points from their vanquished opponents tonight, the Bradford Bulls. But who is your man of the match?
Super League on Sky is sponsored by JJB Sports.
The dawning of a new era in sports broadcasting.
The place to discover breaking news. A team dedicated to nothing but sports news. More results, more interviews. Football, football, football.
Sports news when you need it.
Covering every corner of the country. The big stories as they break.
To be there first and fastest.
Breaking news 24 hours a day.
Sky Sports News has landed on Sky Digital.
The whole story,
wherever
and whenever it breaks.
Call now for your Sky Digital information pack.
Throughout history, evolution has always favored the stronger, the smarter, the leaner, and more efficient.
Renault Laguna. It's evolved.
Yes, Mrs. Shipley?
You don't know how Bournemouth and Wrexham are doing, do you?
There is now a brand new football game.
Wigan 3, Macclesfield 3.
And it kicks off with a £2 million jackpot. Buy a £1 match ticket from any national lottery machine and you'll receive 11 randomly chosen matches.
Gunthorpe, Mansfield. What do you reckon, Sydney?
If 8 of your matches are score draws, you could be one of our jackpot winners.
1, Dumbarton. 1.
Saturdays will never be the same. Vernon's Easy Play. Every week, it's a whole new ball game.
How gorgeous is she?
She's just perfect.
Oh, God. How come the sun doesn't turn her hair into wild wool?
If I had a figure like that, I'd wear a bikini and wig on.
It's not a bikini, it's a piece of dental floss.
He's going to trip over his tongue if he's not careful.
Oh, here she comes.
Come on, get yourself together. Oh, my God.
Thank you.
With an invisible dry formula keeping you fresh and confident all day, it's soft and gentle. It leaves no white marks on your skin.
Puma and JJB Sports bring you the Roots of the Game competition, a fantastic chance to win thousands of prizes. Make sure you're a winner with Puma at your local JJB Sports store now.
Centuries ago, because of the lack of nearby countryside, the law stated that each family living within the boundaries of the borough was allowed to graze their beasts on public land. Well, there's still a lack of countryside.
In association with Scrumpy Jack, because no countryside means no apples.
5 moeten nog gedaan worden, maar dat doe ik vanmiddag wel. It was my 12th birthday. My father gave me a choice. A pair of Reebok football boots or a new train set. I've never regretted taking the train set. It had a beautiful red engine, 6 carriages and its station.
Super League on Sky is sponsored by JJB Sports.
Stand up and take a bow, the athletes of St Helens and Bradford Bulls. 33 points to 25. St Helens have won a vital, crucial match. Now then, who was your man of the match? Aitchison had a big game, didn't he? Perolini led by example, but Sean Long is your man of the match. 17 personal points for him, and here he is, talking now to Angela Powers.
Sean Long, the man of the match for the second week running. You've got £200 worth of sports equipment courtesy of Puma, but it must have been a fantastic game for you out there.
Yeah, it was a really great game. All the lads were up for it today. I think they led the way in the forwards, and I think we showed today that we're contention, for the top 3, but definitely top 5.
Congratulations again, thank you.
Thank you.
Michelle Cavagan, I hope I've got that right, from Rochdale, is the man of the match competition winner, and she is off to Old Trafford, and I wonder whether St Helens will be going with her. My word, what a match that was, absolutely fantastic. This is the way the table looks now then. You can see how vital it is for St Helens to have taken the 2 points. Bradford, Steve-O, have got a huge date against Halifax next Sunday. That's a must-win.
It certainly is, and under a lot of pressure, but full credit to Sean Long. I really thought that he came of age tonight. What a fantastic match by the halfback.
Super stuff. And the Saints, they're showing real character, aren't they? They're digging deep, they're getting it from somewhere.
Well, we said last week, didn't we, that there were problems within the boardroom, perhaps. There were problems at the clubs, but I can assure you everything was fantastic.
Yes, terrific stuff. Join us next weekend. We've got 2 great games for you next week. So I hope you'll join us Friday when we beat Leeds against Wigan. Till then, bye-bye from all of us here. Good run from Julian O'Neill. Martin gives it to Perolini. Perolini, support arrive. They're over the line. There's Perolini. Perolini slips it to O'Neill. Back it goes, another try. Here's McNamara, he slides the kick through. Back it comes to Vicona, and Vicona will score. And New Love is so strong in the tackle. He's back through 3, about 4, 5. Long, they're still not done. Aitchison, back to Martin. A brilliant try. A brilliant St Helens try. Out wide it goes to Vicona. He must score, and he does. This time, McNamara, long ball to Forshaw. Bradley on his inside wants it. He's burst through. Try for Bradley. Graham Bradley gets the ball back with a vengeance. Gets the 2, scores a level. Saints hoist the bomb by a long. Scales has lost it. Aitchison will score. Sean Long will win this match. Sean Long wins the game for St Helens.
Super League on Sky is sponsored by JJB Sports.
After the historic win against the South Africans, it's time to reclaim the Ashes. The Ashes Tour, coming soon to Sky Sports.
Excuse me, officer, is it all right if we take your photograph? No, będzie powiedziała.
Will you take your photograph?
On nie odpowiada, co ja...
Yes, good love.
Honey, come on. Good girl.
How dry can an antiperspirant get? Try Double X Dry. New Arid Double X Shower Fresh. Extra, extra dry.
Humour and JJB Sports bring you the Roots of the Game competition, a fantastic chance to win thousands of prizes. Make sure you're a winner with Humour at your local JJB Sports store now.
Becoming a top model with elite model look is a dream for a lot of girls, but it can be a nightmare for their hair. To keep it looking healthy, we at Elite Model Look recommend Pantene Pro V mousses, gels and sprays enriched with provitamin B5. They make hair look so healthy it shines and gives superb hold. Pantene Pro V is the only system we recommend to our future top models. Pantene Pro V styling system for a healthy looking, shiny hold.
You know, we got a hold of the game in the second half, and our preparation for the game was good, and the players were great today.
I suppose the unbiased spectator, and there'll be plenty of those, would say it was probably the right result.
Yeah, I think the best team won, but you know, for a long time there, both sides were pretty equal, and you know, it was a game, there wasn't much in it, and 6-all at half-time, you know, was a fair indication. So it was a really good game of rugby league, nice and tough in the middle, and then a little bit of ball movement in the second half. So it was good to see.
Calm down for the semi-finals now.
Oh no, I always thought before today that we don't want to slip into the Castleford trap where you know, we get a lot of pats on the back and then we go out and we get ambushed in the next game. So there'll be no chance of that here.
Thanks very much, John. Congratulations.
Okay.
John Money through to the semi-finals, and with me another coach through to the semi-finals, Sheffield's John Keir. How did you sum up that game? Because Wigan certainly took their chances in that second half.
They did. I thought it was a tremendous arm wrestle of a game for 60 minutes, and I thought St Helens contributed greatly. And for the first 20 minutes after half-time, they were getting good field position, and they looked to be getting on top. But then Wigan just ran away with it at the end, and it all hinged on sort of Simon Horton's try, really, and he really showed sort of blood, guts, determination and desire, and sometimes cup ties can be won on that, because we talk about skill levels and tactical planning, but there's times when it just gets down to that in rugby league.
A little lack of concentration too towards the end, weariness maybe?
Yes, obviously both sides would have tired a little, because it was such an intense game, but I mean, when they scored from the drop goal attempt, it was simply the fact that St Helens flew out the line to try and close the drop goal attempt down. It caused gaps to appear, and then the try really sealed it. So I just think it was an absolutely tremendous advert for rugby league football, and you know, I think the BBC will be quite pleased with the two offerings that they've had this weekend.
Certainly have. I mean, looking at that, would Wigan be a team obviously you'd like to avoid in the semi-final? I
think you've just got to, if you're going to win the cup, you're going to have to play the top teams, and if we get drawn against them, we get drawn against them. But there's other alternatives as well. So
what nap for you between now and the semi-final?
Well, what we'll do is we'll have a look at our own game, and we'll try to sort of analyse any weaknesses that came up, and we'll try to improve on them. And then as soon as we know who we're playing, we'll try to identify a few weaknesses there and attack them.